Welcome and thank you for joining today's Software Asset Manager presentation and demo. And with that, I'll turn the call over to Sylvia Cosme. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So as Jimmy mentioned, my name is Sylvia Cosme. I'm a Success Manager for the Customer First program. I am located in Southern Ontario in Canada. I've been with Schneider Electric for 17 years. In the last 3 years, my focus has been on global access of Customer First benefits for support and services for the Wonderware brand. So on behalf of Global Customer Support, I'd like to thank Wonderware West for hosting this session today, and also thank all of you for taking an hour out of your day to join us for this focused look at the Software Asset Manager. So just a quick review of the agenda. First, during the next hour, what we're going to cover is, really to share with you the value that Software Asset Manager, known as SAM, so from now on I'll refer to it as SAM, the value it will bring to your organization, how you can utilize SAM to, very straightforward in an efficient way, install, configure it, and run it to solve issues within your organization. So we're going to go over some information about Software Asset Manager. Then I'm going to switch over to my colleague, Michael Bohr, who is going to do a technical overview of how Software Asset Manager works, the architecture. He will do a live demo, and then I will speak with you with respect to how you can obtain SAM moving forward. And at the end of this agenda, we will have some time for Q&A. So once again, thank you, and welcome to the session. The challenges that SAM can help you conquer include, the fact that SAM is really a software tool used to manage your license inventory and software versions. Under these categories that you see on the screen, the manual audits, customers maintain custom spreadsheets of licenses and are routinely having to conduct manual inventory of their software for auditing purposes and other reasons. With SAM, you can take this process down from days or weeks to minutes or hours. The manual audits reflect, really, when you're doing this, a moment in time and would require periodic manual checks, again, to keep current. So using SAM, you can quickly and efficiently rerun the tool to obtain the latest data quickly and accurately. Okay? Compliance issues. Customers do not often know if they are in compliance, and that means do they have valid licenses running in their organizations. And when we talk about valid licenses, we're talking about do you have duplicate licenses installed on one or more machines in your organization? Do those licenses perhaps belong to another site? And in some instances that we've seen using SAM, you may have consignment licenses installed in your production environments that were left behind inadvertently by a system integrator, and the danger of those licenses is that they expire and could affect your production. Next on the list is keeping your software current. So our business is software solutions, which mandates that we're always working on the next service pack, new release, and patch, and so forth. Customers may have one or many Wonderware or Zytec and Ampla products to keep track of, and this also includes keeping track of the life cycle management for the release of those products. It's a lot of work. Here again, SAM can help you stay informed on what versions of the software is currently running on a machine, its life cycle, like where it's at in its life cycle state, as well as what is the current available version for that piece of software. Next on the list is the patch management. And patch management, as it's stated here, coordinating and implementing patches and upgrades to specific computers is cumbersome and really time-consuming. So this is another area where SAM will be of value to you as an organization. Two questions that are on this slide are, from a licensing perspective, what software have we as an organization installed? And secondly, from a product version perspective, is it current? Is it the best offering available from Wonderware? If the answer is no, then you may be missing out on key improvements, enhancements that are available to you as an organization. So it's really important that efforts are made to understand what is available out there from Wonderware and what the content is of those versions and releases. SAM will quickly and accurately report on all this information for you. And as you can see on this slide here, I have an asterisk beside the word Wonderware. This iteration of Software Asset Manager will actually work for Wonderware brand, the SciTech brand, and the Ampla. Some of you may have all three of those brands. If you do, then SAM will work with all of those. License inventory. So SAM provides the ability to discover licenses that could be they're on your production network. They may be connected test or certification environments, and also using the offline utility provided with SAM, you can easily obtain the information from those disconnected machines. And an example of those disconnected machines may be a packaging line. As stated here in red, no data will automatically be sent to Wonderware or Wonderware West unless you share the SAM output with us for analysis, lifecycle, or upgrade planning and services. The data is yours. If you choose to share it with us, that's great. We can help you take a look to see what SAM is indicating, but otherwise the data does not come back to us. Patch management. As part of the access provided, as part of the assess that Michael will show you later on in the demonstration, SAM will pull the latest information on new versions, service packs, patches, and so forth that are available for download from the global customer support website. In addition, SAM will find installed hotfixes provided that they were implemented using the Hotfix Manager utility. And Michael, again, will focus on this for you during the demonstration. This attribute within SAM will eliminate the need to manually create spreadsheets and other databases with this information. Keeping this information current is a real challenge reported by many customers. SAM will help you facilitate this information and refresh it every time you run the SAM application. In addition, there is always a risk of human error when you are manually collecting this information and transferring it into a database. So again, SAM removes that additional element of risk. It will go and systematically pull that information back into the tool. Just to quickly share with you some successes that we have had with Software Asset Manager. So just going back a little bit in time, if we go back about a year ago, the version of SAM that was currently available at that time was quite problematic. It had a very large footprint. It had a lot of prerequisites that were required in order to install and run SAM. We have removed all of those requirements from the current version, 3.0. And just to give you a little bit of some examples of what has transpired in the past several months, is at the very bottom left hand of the corner here, you see Eric from Procter & Gamble in Alexandria. So the example that I'd like to share with you is Michael Bohr and I actually went to this site, and from the time we walked in the door, literally, within 40 minutes, they had SAM up and running. We were able to install it, configure it, run the SAM workflow, obtain the reports on all with the information on all of the licenses and software versions that they had installed in their organization. Eric commented that without SAM, this process would have taken several days to complete. He was really impressed with how quickly he was able to accomplish this task of obtaining this information, which was mandated by his corporate auditors on licensing compliance. So that's just one example. So within 40 minutes, and I kid you not, this was an actual fact, from the time we walked in the door, had SAM installed, running, and Eric had his reports. Another example that I have on here is ATR Distributing. They're one of our distributors. So ATR and several other distributors, including Wonderware West, were engaged with us through the whole validation of this new version of Software Asset Manager. And so we really appreciate all of their help. And again, as a distributor, they can see the value that SAM will bring to customers when it comes to license and version management of the software that you have implemented in your organization. Another experience, I don't have it on the slide here, but I recently conducted an initiative with a customer where we this is a very large customer. They're an international customer. They have 8 large manufacturing plants globally. In less than an hour, using their topology for each plant, so for each plant within an hour, we were able to install SAM, configure it with the machine names, and then go out and SAM did its function with finding all the licenses that were installed on all these machines and doing all the comparisons between licensed inventory licenses with what they had purchased. Okay, so that was done very efficiently and quickly with Software Asset Manager, as well as providing the analysis on the versions of products that they have currently installed and what is currently available for download from Wonderware. So having said that, kind of setting the stage for Michael's presentation and technical overview. So with that, I will switch over to Michael.
Very good. Thank you, Sylvia. The changes, Sylvia alluded to some of the changes in version 3.0, and don't want to take a lot of time on these slides, but these are some of the high points. She mentioned that the previous version was very, very hard to install. In fact, the operative word for most of the people that had it was that they parked it after a while because it was so hard to use. This version has a very, very simple installation process. It will install on any of the modern Windows operating systems, everything from Vista forward. It is very small footprint. It's very optimized application architecture. It runs on a version of SQL Server called Compact Edition, which we like to call embedded SQL. It does not have all of the bells and whistles, but it's used by the application to aggregate, to store, and to deliver the data that we're going to look at in just a minute. The installation is a single client. There is no other dependency on any other software. It can be uninstalled and reinstalled using the same license on a different machine. It also includes hotfix detection, provided the hotfix manager utility is used. It does detect what is on the machine. It does also, as Sylvia mentioned, we've expanded the product support for Wonderware SciTech and Ampla software. So how does this all work? We detected the mission of SAM is the same, from version to version. Basically, we're trying to actualize, if you will, the Microsoft recommendations for software asset management. And to that end, we developed this application to do these tasks. First of all, it detects what is on a single machine or a group of machines. It assesses with what is available from the data against what is actually in the inventory, in your software asset inventory. It acquires relevant software versions and patches at your discretion, so none of this is automatic. It's completely controlled by you as the user. It will deploy or push those updates to the selected machines, again, at your convenience. None of this is automatic. It does not enforce any of the licenses, nor does it install software. It just basically delivers the software to selected machines. And finally, we want to be able to report what is on the machines in various ways. So as we'll see in the live demo, we have several ways to do that. This slide describes what actually happens from the data delivery down to the client on through the networked computers and the disconnected computers. So as we said before, SAM is a very small embedded database. What happens when we install it is that it gets the data from our metadata storage files here in Lake Forest. So this is a kind of an aggregation of all of the sales data, all of the information for a particular customer's site. It could be multiple sites. It could be across an enterprise as well. And it brings down not only that data, but a whole bunch of other metadata, such as product information, patch information, and all these things are delivered to the client either via internet or by a separate file that we can produce and then ship to you separately without an internet connection. From there, what the Software Asset Manager does is look at either the network system that you have via various connections, or we have a utility that we can offload onto a USB drive that basically you install on a remote computer, such as a separate line or a separate location, and gather the inventory and then deliver it back to the Software Asset Manager for this data import. So these are the two scenarios. We have both the network computers in multiple systems there, or we have the disconnected computers. All right, so let's take a look at the actual application I've got up here. What we've done is select a particular demo site called Dodger Brew, and our company has multiple sites. We selected one of these sites called Dodger Brew, and we built a set of systems here. So we're going to see a hierarchy in this panel here. One is the root site called Dodger Brew. The next one is Arch1. That's the system name. And then we populate that system with several machines. And these machines are all connected, and they're in various stages of, I think one of them is off, one of them has changed its permissions here. But what we can do is provide system-level permissions. These are admin-level permissions so that the Software Asset Manager can actually connect with those machines and gather the inventory. Once we have that inventory, then we can go ahead and detect what's on those particular machines. So in other words, once I've established connectivity with the machines via this Check Connectivity button here, we can go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and do this on another one, which I know is not quite operational yet, but we can check connectivity on both of these machines. And we already have a set of data that has been uploaded into the Software Asset Manager here. So this may take a minute or two, but in any case, we're going to see 100% down here at the bottom for that machine because I know it's already connected. We have a little bit of a status screen down here at the bottom of the app, and if we don't connect for whatever reason, we can check diagnostic here, and we know now that the ping was successful, the machine is alive, and the operation stopped basically because the admin credentials are not valid on that particular machine. So this gives you a chance to diagnose and discover why we can establish connectivity on a specific machine. In our case, we have already done a detect, so we have data in place, and what the detect operation does is bring back three things. It looks at installed product by machine or node in this case. It looks at installed patches and service packs here in the middle panel. And then finally it delivers the licenses that are on those particular machines. And we can look at this information by system. If we click the root system there, we're going to see this data change. We can filter the data out by machine name or by any of these other columns here. But the main point here is that what we have now is a very real and very objective report on what is actually installed on these various machines. And from this point, we can generate an Excel sheet. All of this stuff is exportable, and we basically click export, import, and then we can export these views to Excel. And from there, we have a very quick and very accurate picture of what software and licenses are available on this particular system. Once we have that, we want to assess what is available for these particular machines. And this is where that download of the metadata comes in, where we download all of the metadata from Lake Forest, we aggregate it, and then we use it to compare what is actually available for a specific machine. So in this case, I'm going to click that bottom level USLF machine, and I can see that I've got installed versions here, I've got a dependency version, I've got update versions that are available, and it looks like we're looking at system platform here. We've got a bunch of other metadata in here, release, the type, the severity of the update. And from there, once we know that, we can actually select which software we need to acquire. And this is where some of the power of SAM is, that we can select whichever software we want to and then download it at a time of our choosing. We can also select a path where we're going to put it on the SAM client machine. And in this case, neither of these products are downloaded. But if I select a different machine, I'm going to see different reports for those different machines. So everything is up to date, so to speak, in this case. So in this particular machine here, I've got something that I've already downloaded. It looks like the Factory Suite Gateway application here. So I've already downloaded this to the client, to the SAM client, and I can push this out to that particular machine at any point. So there it is, it's available, and then I can click deliver. And then once I do that, it's going to push this the software file out to the particular machine. Okay, once I've done that, and I have I've created this, completed the workflow, then I can select from a variety of reports that we have here. So the first one and the second one are basically product reports. This is all of the product that's available from Wonderware and SciTech, if this is available, and I don't know if we're going to see that here, but the SciTech and Ample products are included here. I'm not going to take much time to scroll down here. The product inventory report is what's available on my complete set of sites. So this is an enterprise-wide report of everything that I have. This includes things like operating system name, a lot of interesting data in here, such as OS version, service packs, processors, et cetera, et cetera. My license inventory report, as you would expect, brings back my complete set of licensing, that everything that I've detected so far in this create panel and using the detect operation is here. We also have a duplicate serial number report. So in our case, we know in this example that we're on a development system, so we have multiple licenses that match, and we can see those duplicate licenses no matter where they are in the particular system. Okay, in this case, they're on several machines here. We've got two licenses, the same licenses on two different machines. Then we have the license variance report, which is a comparison of what licenses are available from your inventory compared with the licenses that Wonderware has reported sold to you. And this is across the enterprise, so this could be a very, very large report here. But what you've got, in any case, is an objective and comparable set of two licenses, basically unassigned, which are not assigned to any machine. And then we've got an assigned license report, which is the other half of the equation, so to speak. And those are the licenses that are actually assigned to a site or machine. All right. I think that completes the demo. Let me go ahead and give control back to Sylvia.
Okay, so as I was mentioning, if you are a customer at the premium or elite level, SAM Software Asset Manager is one of your Customer First benefits, and you will be shipped your license at the time of your Customer First renewal, or we can ship to you on demand. So you would basically process a request through Wonderware West. They would process an order in our system at no charge, and the license would be issued for you, and then you would have access to the download. SAM is also available for purchase for customers at the standard support tier. And you can use this on your own for your own use, or SAM can also be used as a service where Wonderware West would help you with utilizing Software Asset Manager and doing things like license inventory, product upgrade roadmap analysis for you. So those are the two ways. So it's included with your support, available for download, licensing through the Customer First program, or available for purchase or use through Wonderware West. How to download SAM from our website. So the URL that I've provided here goes directly to the Customer Support, Global Customer Support website. And when you log in, this is what your first page will look like, the image on the left-hand side. I've highlighted for you here the Product Hub. If you click on that tile and go into the Product Hub, then it will take you to this page over on the right-hand side. So just a couple of things here to bring to your attention. So if you scroll down and you click on SAM, it will filter, and on your screen you will have two tabs. One tab is the Download tab, and this blue title here is actually an executable way to launch the download page. And under this next tab for documentation is the tab for all the release documentation is posted here on the Global Customer Support website for your use. As an alternative, if you actually click on this download link, it will take you to this next page. So this is the download page, and just as a reminder for everyone that the download is for the software only. You will still need to acquire your license. If it wasn't automatically shipped to you, you will need to acquire your license to complete the basic SAM workflow. Okay, and that's here. And also when you go to the download page, the SAM documentation can also be accessed here. So each of these are actionable, and it will launch a PDF, which you can save locally or just look at on your screen. So that's really the end of the Software Asset Manager presentation. So I'd like to put this over to Jamie for any questions and answers with respect to SAM. And if you are able and have the time, we still have 20 minutes left, we would like to introduce you to another software solution that we are in the midst of releasing, which is Sentinel. So, Jamie, over to you for questions and answers, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to ask a question, you can press #2 on your telephone keypad to raise your hand and place yourself into our question queue. You will hear a notification when your line is unmuted. At that time, please then state your name and question. You can also submit any written questions through the chat feature that is located on the lower right-hand side of your screen. Simply type your question in and select all moderators as the recipient. We did have a caller in the queue. We'll go to the line of Adam Bailey.
Hi. Just had a question about the metadata connection to the Schneider site. Our site is under a lot of cyber requirements. We might have a hard time opening firewall for that. First of all, would it be possible to do that data via SneakerNet, or is there another way to get that metadata?
Yes, absolutely. What you can do on that page that you saw from Sylvia, there's a request for metadata, and you can do that with any connected computer. and it'll download a file called SQL CE, and from there you can transport it in, on a thumb drive. It's very small. At that point, you put it on the Software Asset Manager client and just import it back into the client. So it's certainly possible to do that. And it works over a proxy, by the way, too. So if there's a proxy between the client and our data stores, that will work as well.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And we did have a question come through the chat wanting to know if the SAM presentation will be made available.
Yes, it will be. So Ryan, I believe you're going to take care of that. Ryan Bradley, can you just maybe talk to folks for a moment?
Yes, this is Keith. I've actually had that request, and I've received several of those requests in relation to the presentation, and I should have that in the coming days. So I'll be happy to send those out. If they could just send me the requests, either through the presentation or via email, that's fine as well.
Okay, just another reminder to all those in the audience, you can raise your hand to ask a question by pressing #2 on your telephone keypad. You can also continue to submit any questions through the chat feature that is located on the lower right-hand side of your screen.
Okay, any other questions, Jamie?
There are no further questions at this time.
Okay, thank you. And I apologize, Keith, for calling you Ryan. I do know a Ryan Bradley from Texas, so that's my only excuse. Okay, so thank you, and hopefully everyone can stay on just for a moment because we would like to talk to you a little bit about Sentinel, which is our proactive system monitoring tool that will be coming out in 2017. Just to give you a little bit of background on what this is all about, if you were at our conference in Orlando, you would have had an opportunity to actually see Sentinel running at the show. But if you did not, we'd like to introduce you to it. So basically, Sentinel is a new software application designed to help you monitor your Wonderware system, including the 4 attributes that are shown here: your core software, engineered software applications, related hardware, and network infrastructure. So Sentinel monitors these key attributes and generates alerts. And just for your information, from who gets those alerts, it's really up to you. You can have individuals within your organization get the alerts and take appropriate actions on them. That is a service that you can purchase from Wonderware, and that is a service that you could purchase from Wonderware West. So again, any actions with respect to the alerts that are received are really however you want to manage them. When an attribute is at a tolerance, someone is notified, and then there you should have whatever response, your response team to do certain things in certain conditions. And this is really to help you prevent any production interruptions and downtime to your systems. So Schneider Electric Sentinel is an optional application. It's available for purchase for standard and premium customers, and it is included for the elite customers in that support tier. So again, for standard and premium, it is available for sale. It will be available for sale, and it is included for elite customers. Just to give you some background where we're at right at this moment in time, we are currently live in our final beta. So just to give you a little bit of background on what we've done, we had an alpha test in the May timeframe and included distributors, system integrators, and a small number of customers. As we went along the processes and took those iterative improvements that were identified, we made additional changes to the application. We ran a second beta and increased our end customer experience to 5. And we are currently, at this moment in time, in our final beta before we go to a controlled release. So our mandate is to have a minimum of 12 customers who would have installed Sentinel in a non-production environment. We're looking for feedback on the alerts and for a few other things from participants. So I made a note in here that if anyone else is interested in knowing more and would like to in on this beta opportunity, and then just at the top there, the incentive for being part of the beta is that you would get a Sentinel subscription for up to 50 monitored machines, and that's the software and support for 12 months. And it can be the controlled release version or the general release version. It's up to you. And the monitoring of the alerts is not included in that offer. It's just the software subscription and the support for Sentinel. So with respect to the controlled release of Sentinel, what controlled means for us is that it's a fully supported life-cycled release, but we're limiting it to between 20 and 25 customers in a production environment. And the reason for that is we want to ensure success. So we have done a lot of due diligence during our alpha and beta exercises, getting more and more experience with end customers, tweaking Sentinel for any nuances that came up from one customer's environment to another. But for the controlled release, we want to ensure success by including customer care follow-ups from us. So we will stay engaged with the controlled release recipients through to general availability. And general availability is currently scheduled for Q1 2017. So that was a very, very high level of what Sentinel is all about. You can get more information on Sentinel from our website and or through Wonderware West. You also have my information on page 1 of this PowerPoint. If you have any more questions on it, we'll be happy to have a discussion with you. But again, Sentinel is a proactive system monitoring tool that you can implement to have some early warnings on things that may be going wrong with the software and the applications that you're running. Okay, so that is it from my perspective. So again, I thank you so much. And if there's any questions on Sentinel or on the beta, be happy to take those now as well.
There do not appear to be any questions.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you, Keith Bradley, for